Hi. Hang on. Is that better? Oh, maybe not. Maybe that's better. Hang on. Seems when I push it right there. Trying to get a clearer picture. It's kind of grainy. Might be because where I'm at. Um, oh, my hair. Welcome, everybody. It's Mary June Tracy, and bringing you the 411 of As Above, So Below, also known as the Guru Mama, helping you to maneuver in this world and bring you to a place of love, joy, and peace within your life. So if you care to work with me, definitely links in the bio. And you can also sign up for the moon readings because we are coming up to the first quarter square. How crazy is that, right? Oh, man. Lots going on in the world. There's so many. I mean, we just had, if anybody cares, the step down of the Prime Minister of England. That happened earlier on today. Or we were probably sleeping. Some of you may have been sleeping when that was all happening because they're 8 hours ahead of us, at least me. So we had that and the whole download of who's going to be stepping in, which is quite interesting. So I was following a little bit of that, following about the referendum that's coming in the next 4 months here in Alberta. So we have that. A lot of different political things that are going on have been quite interesting. So lots to think about, lots to look at. I think for people, especially if you're in Alberta and you're going to vote, there's a lot there to look at and really to educate yourself. And that's the whole thing, is about educating yourself. What is this all about? What does this mean, um, as we are going through these transformation and changes? And it is uncomfortable. It is where we are going. Things aren't going to be as smooth, and as wonderful. Sorry, my washing machine's going off in the back. I'm in the laundry room and I didn't want to turn off my washing machine. So you're going to hear all the sound effects of my washing machine. And I'm only on YouTube. I'm not on anything else right now. Ooh. I didn't do YouTube, or I didn't do Instagram or Facebook. Just doing YouTube today. Yeah. So, feelings for today. My feelings for today. What is going on? Oh, maybe I'm going to turn it off. My weekly astrology theme is returning home to yourself. Is that really loud in the background? Is that distracting to you guys? I just want to get my laundry done. I want to get this done. So I guess I could have waited, but ain't happening. So, all right. So, no one's saying anything. So, that's fine. So, I'm going to continue on. This week feels less like pushing forward and more like remembering who you are, and the benefits we all carry. And with, I mean, we're in Cancer season. This is like, I mean, I love it when the summer solstice happens because it is right on my moon. And there's a lot of beautiful like I love the summer solstice. I really do. Even though it's cold, it's flooding here in different parts of Calgary and Edmonton. The wind is blowing, it's rainy. It's not a typical what people would think the summer solstice would be. A lot of times when people think of the summer solstice, um, like they think it's like, especially here, like we live in Canada. Canada's like, unless you live in the Okanagan Valley, it sucks. You know, if you live in the prairie provinces, you're not going to get a summer day, like a typical summer day on the summer solstice. Uh, at least in my experiences, living in Penticton, totally different experience. Um, I mean, I've been many times. It's been 30 degrees or more in June, and then of course by August, and that we're in the 40s, 45 degrees. But in June and stuff, it's usually quite nice. I mean, things are blooming and things are, your orchards are blooming. And here we go again with my waterfall in the back. Yeah. I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Like, that's what I'm saying. So when I think of the summer solstice, I think of all of the real beautiful, nice energies that come in with it because it is there. It is. It's when the sun is at the highest point in the sky in the northern hemisphere. This is where you know, it's there. There it is. Here we know the days are going to get um, hotter and dreamier, and things are going to be, you know, a lot nicer. Don't look at Europe. Don't look at France. Don't look at the Okanagan Valley because things are blooming and people are already harvesting probably some first rounds of lettuce and all types of different vegetables out of their garden. And apricots. Apricots are the first ones to come out. So apricots are coming out now. So not cherries. The cherries are out. I'm not sure about the cherries. Yeah, I'd give it another couple weeks, right? Anyway, and y'all know that I'm not a cherry fan. Anyways, I don't eat cherries. Cherries are not my no. Yeah, I was looking at the Swiss chard at Lalande yesterday. My chard is to. Oh, I know. They've been harvesting the Swiss chard for a number of weeks now, right? Their tomatoes are huge. Like if you've seen like at Lalande, the tomatoes are huge. Same with uh the croissant, the zucchinis and what else are there? Oh, the artichokes and Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts won't be harvested, but I mean they're doing extremely well. Their apples are looking good on their tree. All the berries are out. Strawberries. I mean, here we are. Gardening in Calgary is a labor of love. We just got tomato plants given to us by our neighbor, so which is nice, and I planted them. And yeah, it's one of those things. Like if we get tomatoes, if not, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So I love it when the guys come in from BC and are selling all the fruits and the vegetables and stuff like that. That I love because I love getting a lot of the stuff from them. And saying, go to the Fraser Valley. Fraser Valley, oh my goodness, the berries, cranberries, fabulous. So, yeah, start comparing, you just start crying. Uh, that's part of the astrology. It's remembering that you don't have to earn your worth. And there's so much out there that in our world is that in order for you to feel worthy, what you got to jump through so many hoops and go over these hurdles in this belief that you do this, then you're worthy of this, right? Remembering that the nourishment is medicine and that we were never meant to only survive. That's the big one that's coming in with the energies and the what I've been feeling is survival, right? I find those guys can be so expensive sometimes. Yeah, they can, but it's for them to bring it in. And it's the cost of growing, and it's the cost for them to bring it all the way here to Alberta. So, there's a lot that goes into growing. I'm going to say, especially if you've never run an orchard, you actually run an orchard at a loss. Most of those guys run it at a loss. They're not running it at huge profits. That's for sure. And the ones that bring it here usually are not part of the co-op, so they're not getting any extra, you know, um, money and stuff. But that thing about survival, here to just survive, and many of us are. I mean, we are in a concept right now that we're just here to survive. And I don't mean just financially, because financially is can be for a lot of people a big strain at this time. But I'm looking at it at just for joy, peace, peace, right? Finding that peace is important. Happiness can be, I think, with happiness can be at times, I mean, it's on a scale, right? And with happiness comes, you have an opposite. With peace, at least, even though that if you're going through some trials and tribulations in your life, if you have peace within you, that's where the foundation can come in for you. And having that peace and having that joy, because I've been to things that are quite horrific, and then I found joy and peace in it. Like, it's crazy. And that's where you have to sort of get through the bushes, like, like push things aside to get, and not just dwell on all the weeds and the craziness that's going on, but finding the other parts of it, that come in. It's like a weed might be invasive and horrible, but then it could have these beautiful flowers on it. It just looks so beautiful. I mean, dandelions are weeds, right? We have a whole pile on the back because nobody parks in, behind the garage, because he rents out the garage to someone else. And so there's these weeds that are growing there, these plants, but they get these beautiful purple flowers on them, uh, and they look quite nice. Just saying. But that's the whole thing, you got to find the positive in amongst all of the craziness of the world. And when we can find that positiveness, we can start to embrace a lot more into our lives. And that, I feel, is the important piece for us as we go forward in this energy right now, uh, because it can get a little overwhelming, right? Because we're meant to bloom. We're meant to be these beautiful, energetic beings, and this is a great recalibration, especially with Cancer and Taurus. Both speak the language of home, nourishment, simplicity, and safety. And it isn't about becoming someone new. It's about allowing what no longer fits, right? To just gently dissolve. So, to be the caretaker, the rescuer, the strong one, the one who holds everything together or everyone together, these identities have served their purpose, but many are becoming too heavy to carry, right? And we have this first quarter square in Libra. And this is, Libra asks you, what am I sacrificing to maintain harmony? What relationships, expectations, or patterns need adjusting so new growth can come in? And like a gardener, pruning branches, is part of it. Life isn't punching you, it's making space. And that's a different way of looking at it, right? It's like when you have to take things away, a lot of people get upset because they can't live the way that they want to live. So this is what it comes into. It's like, how are you bringing, understanding that what is dissolving around you is actually bringing peace? That can be a hard one because sometimes we get so stuck on the way things are, the way things should be. And here it's coming in and saying, no, we want to make it, we're trying to give you more sunlight. We're trying to give you ways where you can actually have the new growth, have the new beauty. And this is where I think a lot of us have to really sort of take that seat back and really take a look, because this isn't about a time of like redeveloping ourselves or redefining ourselves. This is about really finding that beautiful interior, I'm going to call it the rose blossoming within us, right? And allowing for that blossom, allowing for that bloom to come in. And it is one of acceptance, of knowing, of understanding, right? And the sun, is squaring Neptune midweek. This may feel profound, but not because clarity suddenly arrives, but because something old begins dissolving. Cancer wants us to know what nourishes you. Where do you belong? What feels like home? Neptune in Aries, who am I becoming? Hmm. Many emotional identities are retiring. For some, emotional security has come from being needed. But what if home isn't something you create for everyone else? What have home is something you inhabit within yourself? What if receiving becomes more important than proving? And what if joy matters? My favorite one, joy, right? And what if rest matters? What if your life isn't a problem to solve? One of the things that dissolved for us in this last little while, I know it's a hard one, was not driving Mateus to school anymore because we don't have a vehicle. And that was difficult, right? Because there was a routine that we had. You go pick up him, we drop him off. When we were able to, we picked him up after school and stuff. So we had a routine. That all changed. That all changed in a moment. Like all of a sudden, you know, we didn't have the vehicle anymore. And in that moment, that made a lot of adjustments for a lot of people, including Mateus, right? And but in it, it's embracing what is new. It allowed him to become more independent as a young man. It's allowing him to be more responsible of getting up, get going. Mom's gone, here's your breakfast. You got to get going to school just now, right? So that responsibility also coming in. Plus, it kind of made my life easier, and the guilt of wanting to say that is huge. Like, I don't have to get up at 6 if I don't want to. I don't like getting up at early in the morning. Never have. I've never been an early bird, even though throughout my life I've always had to get up at 4 or 5 in the morning. I've always said that's brutal. Sleeping in till 7. I've even slept in till 8 o'clock. You know, having that rest has been a benefit, right? So it's like almost taking a power back, and what my power is. It is. It's a new freedom, and allowing myself to step into that new freedom. And that's with a lot of pieces within my own life. My next one is like, even, and I've had, this is funny. I've had so many people come to me like, "Oh, you're not working yet, Mama? When are you going back to work? Are you going to get a job?" And I'm like, I'm wanting to break that energetic, that mindset. That's the whole thing. It's a mindset that we have kept, that you have to have this to get that. You have to have this job. You have to have like a whatever job it is. You have to have this job because that job is your income. You have to have it. Now, in our world, it's set up and it shows you, it proves to you every time, right? Every time it proves to you, you need this because that's going to give you this. You need that. This is where you're going to go. It's going to give you that security. That security's there. And coming over to the trust and the faith and saying, you know what? I'm setting this up in a new way. I have to set this up in a new way. Right? I can't continue on that road because that road doesn't benefit me. And that's part of the changing, is looking at, you might think this job, and I'm talking like people are saying like, and I have people come to me like, well, this job isn't going to go anywhere. I'm like, okay, whatever. I know nothing. Or, we're safe and secure here. And then I'm like, okay, but in an ever changing world with AI coming in, with new ideas and new technologies and new ways of doing things, you have to always remember you can't just rely. I think that's a false security that people have in many ways. And even when I've watched um, the interviews with billionaires and millionaires, and I've watched these, and every one of them, even though they might have worked for a corporation or a firm for so many years, they set up their own funding. They set up their for their security because they know that even though this multi-million dollar company or corporation has, supposedly been there for 20 years, it can go like that. Your retirement can be gone like that. And that's where, what I am looking at doing. This is another my little project that I'm working on, and going to work and do a little series. And it's funny, I already started, and didn't realize I already started it without me knowing it. Um, is how am I going to create an abundance, of a financial muggle world, right? And what does that look like? And what are my fears with that? And creating something from that. And that's what I'm kind of working on right now. So this is also moving away from, and also bringing in the spirituality with that too. This is also looking at my identity, right? Because many of you know me as the Guru Mama, Mama G. Here's Mama. And I'm moving away from that to just Mary June Tracy. That's who I am. And the Guru Mama, I mean, it's still there. It's still definitely still there on paper. It's still a part of me, the Guru Mama. But moving away from an identity that here I am. I'm Mary June Tracy. Stepping into this is what I do, and this is what I offer, right? I offer you astrology readings, I offer you moon readings, I offer you a place along your road to come and stand in your power, and bringing that forward, right? And with that, in the many different ways. And two things that I really love besides spirituality and the whole woohoo kind of thing is that I love to find out about money and the energies of money. And yeah, that has always interested me, right? And I talk about, because I see others with, and I many of my clients have abundance, whether they tell me they don't or not. I I can sense it, kind of thing. It's like, oh really? Hmm. And I'm for so many of them, like so many of my clients, what I want for them is for them to really, and this is part of the energies coming in. I stress to you, so I'm stressing to you all right now. You have to set up a security for yourself in this world. Some form of security. And this is why part of my series is coming in and setting up the $5 investment. And this isn't a scheme or anything else like that, because um or a get rich scheme. It is not that. But so many of my clients come to me, well, I'm in debt. Oh, we have this and we have that. And I step back and I'm like, but you're driving a brand new fucking car. And you just told me you purchased this and you purchased that and you have that, and then you're coming to me and you're telling me you're poor. No, you're not. You're richer than what you realize. Now if you turn around with all of that you have, if you are able, and if you're able to spend money on this, then you could spend money over here. But the thing is, from getting from here to here, it's like getting from your head to your heart. because that's a long drop to get from your head to your heart. Because you can justify everything over here. I can do, well, I need this and I need this and blah, 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 blah. But when it comes to self worth and identity and identifying your self worth and your abundance and love, right? To identify and come in with that is huge. Because sometimes it's very hard to go from here to here. And you can hate on the Kardashians. I mean, I'm not a Kardashian fan, but we have some very enterprising people who have created their abundance, right? They have very well strategized themselves. And especially the matriarch, the mother, I can't even remember her name, but she has, I mean, she looks fabulous at 70. I got to admit that. She does. She looks really good. Um, Whatever, but she can afford the Botox and and everything else, right? However she did it, good, bad, you might not like her strategy, you might not like the way that she did what she did. Chris, thank you. But she did what she did, right? She knew she had to stay above ground, right? And she's a tigress. She's a tigress and she did it, right? And same with for the rest of her daughters to have them to step into that and be, those independent women, right? Even if it's a bit evil. Yeah, she's a marketing genius, definitely. And sometimes, and but the thing is, when you're standing from the outside, as they say, but take the telephone pole out of your eye before you try to take the splinter out of somebody else's. And that's part of this energy. It's like take that out. Start looking at oneself. Because sometimes taking that out of your own eye, taking that out of from you, is going to help you to see more of your self-worthy and your worthiness. And then you're able to help to take whatever it is out of the other person's eye. And that's where I feel I'm at. I need to look at, like, I can see all of this with other people, but then I got to look at my own self. How am I creating my abundance? Am I going from here to here? Am I allowing myself to go from my head to my heart? Whew. Okay. I'm a good Scorpio. I could take you to the depths. Trust me, I can take you. I could take you to hell and bring you back up again. Many people have said, Mary, Mama, you are great at taking me all apart and then putting me back together in a new way. But in that process, it's hell. It's getting me to really see my truth of who I am. And this is part of the financial thing, right? Seeing the truth of who I am and bringing that abundance in, not only for me, but the abundance that can help other people. And that's not about accumulating more stuff. Like, we don't need any more stuff. At least, I mean, I know from even downsizing to this place, and I'm looking at a lot of the stuff I do have, I still have stuff to get rid of. I have stuff on stuff, right? But it's the baby steps. It is those baby steps of creating that. And I think the summer solstice energy is a beautiful energy to bring that in and to allow for that energy to come forth. And so I'm going to be recording. I'm not going to do lives. I'm going to do little recordings of what it means. Like, even because right now I don't go to the grocery store. I shop online. And that's because I'm not carrying a bunch of fucking groceries on the bus or in an Uber. I have issues on ordering Ubers. My kids will tell you. I have an issue on Ubers and taxis and stuff. I'd rather find the cheapest way, but then it's the hardest way, right? And this is where I feel we're heading. We're heading into these new energies, these new ways of doing things. and finding those ways of creating that, right? And, if you're getting a little bit of extra over here, what are you doing with it, right? And I was asked to be shown, and I've been shown, like, I have a beautiful person that showed up out of the blue and booked a reading this week. And, I met that person at Vermilion, and that's the whole thing. It's like, it could be just one person. One person will bring that abundance in for you. It's not 1,000 people. And looking at, okay, what did this person did? Oh, well, it was able for us to buy groceries, bring some groceries into the house, which is beautiful. Had another person that came into my life and brought me, we went out and we had coffee, we had a great time. And she treated me to some other things, and that was such a blessing. Those little things, when they come in, you don't realize it's not so much of having the money in the bank, but all of these other beautiful little blessings that come in, and honoring them. That's the peace. That's peace, right? Knowing that there is beauty and there's love that is there in amongst the crazy. But sometimes it's the pruning of everything that needs to happen, right? It's allowing for that pruning. It's allowing for that so that sunshine can come in. And when the sunshine can come in, it allows for you to be able to grow and prosper in ways that you never thought you could grow and prosper. And bring in those ideas that need to come in and foster. And I feel like that's where this energy is coming in. This energy is coming in for us to step into those beautiful blossoming energies of the rose, of allowing for that. Because even when the rose falls, like the petals fall, right? And then you get a rose hip. A rose hip. You know how much nutrition is in a rose hip? Like, it has so much vitamin C, right? And then it allows for the new roses to come in. There is so much there for us, but we got to get, yeah, there's this happening, there's that happening. Okay, where can I prune away and allow for the sun to shine? Where can I step into the beauty of me? Where can I step into that love, that joy, that peace, that harmony, right? Because Libra moon seeks balance. Like, Saturn asks for a definition. Chiron in Taurus is bringing up questions about value and acceptance. Many of you who are anywhere between the ages of 47 and 51, you are all going through a Chiron return. It happens about every 50 years. God bless you. A Chiron return is not easy. You thought Saturn returns were difficult? Well, Chiron's a little bit different because it's going to start asking you, am I accepted for who I truly am? Am I discounting my value? Am I assuming I won't be received? Chiron is looking at your value and what you value. And is your value worth valuing? And it's also looking at what your morals are, right? The things that you have in your life, are they of true value? And so many of you, are going to be going through this return. And it's bad enough, and I know at 45 Uranus is just right above you, and at 45 that's when women are going through starting the true perimenopause that they call now. We used to just call it menopause because whether you're in it or not, but that perimenopausal energy of your body changing, right? And then as you're going through, because menopause continues on and it changes and transforms until you're in your 50s, also between 47 and 52, a lot of women stop their period. So your period stops on average, right? Some women might carry it on to 54, maybe 60. I'm sorry if your period lasts longer than that, because I think that's just a fucking punishment from Mother Nature. But usually your period will stop, right? So between 47 and 50. Chiron takes 7 years to go through Taurus, right? So if you are in, depending where your Chiron in, if it's at the beginning, if it's in the middle, is it at the end, right? So it's going to be different for different people. But this is coming in where it's going to start to show you, okay, your periods are all going to change. So a lot of women are going to have different periods. They're going to be a little bit more sporadic. They might be, some days they might be very heavy. Some days they might be really light. Some days you might not have a period for 3, 4 months. That's part of the change as well. And a lot of women at that time really start to freak out as if they think that they might be pregnant, but they're not. So things like that start to change because it's your body's changing. And then this also has to do with how you start feeling about the world around you, right? Your life. Many of you are still raising children, right? Some of you might have young teenage kids. God help us why Mother Nature did that. But, having young children around or teenagers around at that age. So this brings in a lot of new developments on how you think, in how you look at the world around you and your future. What, what am I going to do? Do I still want to be where I'm at? This is where a lot of women leave, and they actually leave their big jobs. And they walk away from corporate jobs and they go for maybe a smaller corporate job, or they redefine themselves in a new way. They start their own business and move in a different direction. I've seen many just, where they've worked at a certain job for 20 years and all of a sudden saying, I'm tired of this. I'm doing this over here. So they suddenly change everything. So now my husband's fine. He doesn't say anything.
Are you going to go with me?
Yeah, I was going to go with you.
I was just waiting.
Okay. So changes happen. A lot of changes are happening. So on that note, we have to go because we have to go for a walk. We have to go down the road. But just understand change is happening, but it's all positive. There's a lot of positive changes that are happening. And this is where, part of my menopause series that I did not long ago, on understanding that the planets have a lot to do with how our body changes. And it's quite remarkable when you think about it, and especially with this Chiron return happening for many of my audience of women who follow me are going to be stepping into this new energy for themselves. Chiron's in Taurus for 7 years, so I might do a little bit more of a series on this for you. I'm just thinking about that now, as the download comes in, and talk a little bit more about that for you so that you can have a little bit more of an idea. I know when I turned 50 and stuff like that, my period ended at, I think, 51. And your period has to end for a year and a day. It's a year and a day, which is actually, if you are stepping into a ordination, it's always a year and a day. So there's power in that. Um, and looking at that, I was actually very joyful when my period ended, even though, well, me and my periods have had issues throughout my life, but it was a blessing that I've never had a period again since that, and I'm 62, so it's been over 10 years. Hallelujah! With that. So, I will bring forth more information on it. And until we meet again, on that note, I will let you go. So don't abandon your values to fit into a space that cannot honor them. Okay? Let me repeat that. Don't abandon your values to fit into a space that cannot honor you. Have a blessed one, everybody. May the Lord and Lady watch over and bless you. And I will bring in more information about the lovely, lovely Chiron return. Bye bye.